Hello and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share, subscribe if you haven't already. For those of you new to my channel, let me tell you that the purpose in my channel is because I saw an injustice occurring and I decided to start voicing my opinions and showing my research on my platform. Somehow I believe a lot of people got lost in the message and how I clearly told you this whole agenda was broader than Robert Kelly and would affect a whole lot of artists in the entertainment industry, whether people wanted to acknowledge it or not, and that all these rumors and allegations surrounding Robert Kelly gave people ample excuses to ignore the obvious corruption going down in his case. But it's okay, I'll walk you through it and make my point with this specific video. Now, the specific propaganda that Me Too Time's Up wanted to run with was that nobody cares about the black girl. Never mind, this black girl right here been telling y'all this whole setup is some bullshit from day one. Never mind, we have watched countless black women and girls exploited through the industry, pimped out by their slave contracts, and we, the black community, are so entertained watching them perpetuate these toxic lifestyles only for certain individuals to use those lifestyles when it's convenient for them to lock them up. Why is it the only time people care about the black girl is when they trying to get a nigga locked up? Better yet, how people just gonna conveniently pick and choose the stories they want to run with, ignore that, as I've said, majority of these artists in the entertainment field have worked with this man, benefited from this man, so to believe that this man was leader of this enterprise is beyond me when you have all these other individuals who were used in this trial to perpetuate these crimes, when we all know the corruption played out publicly, including the obvious extortion that was exposed, the constant bickering between these accusers, and all the inconsistencies within their stories that they have strategically put out on these platforms for people like me to pick apart. So let me just be frank real quick. Just as I tried to demonstrate with Robert Kelly's supporters, individuals were being given platforms to help facilitate these narratives being fed to the prosecutors. Their job is to build their case around these narratives. Now, when I see certain things happening online and I show you how it aligns with accusations being waged against Robert Kelly, it's clearly people will go on slanderous campaigns to divert your attention from the obvious truth I've told you from the beginning. Now, it doesn't take a genius to recognize in Robert Kelly's case, prosecutors relied on these enterprise members to give their testimonies, their stories, in order to make their cases. Now, clearly, regardless of how you feel about this man, you have to face the facts and recognize some should pay attention to what's going on in his case, as it will be a reflection as to the tactics used by certain individuals in order to push their narratives and agendas. So what does it say when people can manipulate the law for their personal beefs? It should be obvious so many in the industry have skeletons in their closet. But the first thing I thought about when I saw this whole thing with Snoop Dogg taking over Death Row Records was Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and how so many people forgot how she had signed with Death Row before her passing. And it left me inquiring, why is it people don't ask these questions about these estates of these artists once they pass and or situations change that leave their estates in the hands of other individuals? You'd be surprised how many of these artists don't have wills, don't have any sense of financial literacy, yet they're continuously exploited throughout the industry. And then you hear about all these freaky deaky tapes floating around here, but everybody's so shocked and appalled condemning a man that they don't even know for a fact did certain actions other than hearsay. So when I come out and say people speaking on the topic shouldn't put out certain information that is not first-hand information, and I bring back all the things these accusers said against Robert Kelly, it should be clear how, obviously, this whole thing is not about those girls. Just like if memory serves me correct, few cared when these same individuals, TLC that is, came back and explained to you how they were so famous and yet still broke. Yet people made them a mockery, laughed at them, and nobody acted on the fact these people keep saying the same things.
I can say this. Everything's not going the way we so-called quote-unquote would want it to be or how it should be. But regardless, we're not going to let anybody hold us down. This proves it. And we've done good regardless to all the problems. We'll be going on tour. That's okay. We're straight. We're going to talk.
Go ahead. You said your career is not exactly what you would have wanted it to be, but this proves it. What's not on?
Step on up.
I'll tell it. We're not going to sugarcoat anything anymore. We've been quiet long enough. Can I get an amen?
Amen!
All right. All right. Well, I'll put it to you this way. We are the biggest selling female group ever. 10 million albums worldwide. We have worked very hard. We have been in this business for 5 years. And we are broke as broke can be. And we're not like trying to be a sad story. If that was the case, we would have been on everybody's talk show talking about how broke we are. We haven't done that. I know it's hard to believe because we've sold so many albums, but it is possible. That's the deal here. So, and we're not happy at all. But for real, tonight, this is all we wanted. We wanted to win a Grammy, at least one, and we won 2. And that proves that we are the jam.
Chili, can you
Wait, because I heard Bo Diddley on a TV show yesterday because the Legends of Rock thing is going on tomorrow, and he talked about how in the 50s that happened a lot. It's shocking that that's happening in the 90s.
It is shocking. It's still happening. I mean, we're examples right now. I mean, you don't understand the stress that we're under, and it's like to even find out that people are calling the academy talking about TLC's out of control and people who are supposed to have your back is very confusing. We don't understand that, and it's like, dog, you know what? It's okay because God is on our side and He has blessed us, and we are thankful for everything thus far. And
nothing to hold us down.
yeah.
Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Can you come on up to the mic? I've got 2 questions for you. 10 million albums. How can you be broke? And 2, what's coming up with Left Eye Productions?
Okay. How do I do what? Make it run? Well, first of all, 10 million albums, and how can we be broke? It's kind of, I can't go into everything right now, but trust me, you can sell 10 million albums and be broke if you have greedy people behind you.
Turn it around so you don't sell 10 million albums and not be broke.
Stick together, learn from our mistakes, and you know, just well, you know, contracts and stuff is kind of hard to handle business when you're stuck in contracts that say certain things.
And you know, to me, what also helps is when you tell it. You know, when you're sitting around and you're you know, like being hush hush about it, nobody knows. Everybody's looking at the videos, they're looking at the success of the album, so they're thinking that you're on top of the world. And you know, when you're quiet like that, no one knows. So that's why we're telling it. We're not telling it to get anybody in trouble or to make anybody mad at us. We're just being very honest and truthful and telling y'all the truth. So, and that's just how it is. And hopefully, you know, it can stop because it is not 1950 anymore. It is 1996.
So many people have exposed these so-called standard contracts in the industry, yet nobody does anything. So when I hear these people mute R. Kelly coming to Sony's demanding they drop him, these people strategically attacking Robert Kelly's finances, I clearly make it known that a lot of people are focusing their energy on the wrong places, especially if you want me to believe on the same foot everybody knew about these allegations, everybody knew what he was doing, even the record label was having these people go out and buy all these alleged tapes, and nobody is being prosecuted for those illegal actions. Why? Because as it reflects in Robert Kelly's indictments, people have a way of leveraging information and certain facts about individuals to get them to go along with whatever it is they may want. And many artists have spoken out on this as well, including the things they have been exposed to.
At some point, you're going to get invited into a house. And the house is going to be broken down into certain rooms. And these rooms are designated by activities. So if you don't do the activities, you don't get in the room, right? So like me, I smoke weed. You know, I don't do cocaine. So I'm never going to be allowed into the cocaine room.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? So there's some of these houses and parties I've been invited to, and you get there and you realize, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to see, could I get invited and get in that hole? And then you get in that hole and realize, man, I don't do this shit.
Yeah.
I don't fuck around like this. You open the wrong room door, you be like, oh, damn, bro, that's how you move? My bad, you know? And so, you know, sometimes you think you want to be in these rooms with these people, and you get in the room and you realize it's not where you want to be or where you need to be.
So to wrap up this video, when I heard these people coming out with this propaganda of everybody knew this, nobody cares about the black woman, it's just certain red flags that stood out. Especially when so many young women were brought into the industry underage. Everybody knows the abuse they endured, even the identity crisis we see playing out to this day, but nobody cares. People will, however, make fun of her because obviously she's not comfortable in her own skin, and nobody will ever address the obvious issues that I pointed out long ago, and how a lot of these Me Too advocates feel some type of way about these misogynistic men who've been running rapid. So if they can team up with these other terroristic groups to push an agenda, it seems like to me they're all game for it. My thing is, just like when it came to Tory Lanez, people should wait when it comes to criminal accusations and allegations and allow the court to proceed. And maybe if people from the Team Truth sector had shut the fuck up and let this man have his day in court, maybe people like me wouldn't continue to make it known that we saw past the bullshit. We told you any given artist can fall victim to this targeted harassment, bullying, and misconduct just to push these political agendas, violating people's obvious rights.
I thought this was America, people.
Charge me, but I'm not guilty.
It's a lot of facts people would like you to forget, like how this whole surviving R. Kelly was obviously a fraud. A lot of these accusers came from this docuseries. If they had half the evidence they claimed they had, they wouldn't have been relying on a career extortionist to supply certain evidence, and a lot of people wouldn't be out here looking hella stupid trying to cover up all the things they came out here saying, backtrack, and now hope you don't put two and two together and realize that this whole case was manufactured right before your eyes. Now, at the end of the day, some people don't care. Whether you dislike or like Robert Kelly, you have to stand for something or you're going to fall for anything. The media spent a lot of funds in selling the notion this man was a predator. This man was stalking these schools and McDonald's. This man was preying on young kids, but they can't to this day produce one minor. All these people that came on these platforms are just going back and forth because all the bullshit they came out here putting on public display is actually what gave people like me reasonable doubt in believing all these people are conspiring together to facilitate certain things. What they're doing behind closed doors doesn't really concern me. But it don't take a genius to recognize it don't take all this for people to blog about a topic, bring you information without interfering with a federal case. Okay? But hey, I told y'all what was going on, and I let all these people expose themselves to you.